On the 22nd of October 2021, it was announced that Ryan Gosling was going to play Ken in a new Barbie film opposite Margot Robbie, co-written and directed by Greta Gerwig.
I just want to ask you questions about it. I saw...
This will be Gerwig's third film, and compared to her last work, it's once again something very different. Lady Bird is still such an amazing directorial debut from her, and it's what made me interested in following her career as a director/screenwriter, and curious to see what she would do next. I didn't really think much of it when I saw that Ryan was casted in this film, but apparently many people have different thoughts and opinions, so now this is a video in defense of Ryan Gosling and why I personally think he's a great actor.
I was surprised how, some people were kind of clutching their pearls about my Ken, as though they ever thought about Ken for a second before this.
This is Ryan Gosling. He's been performing for a long time, certainly has wanted to perform for a long time.
What is the first thing you think of when I say the name Ryan Gosling? Do you think of this or this or this? Whatever it may be, we all know who Ryan Gosling is, and we've seen him in a film or two. Ryan Gosling is a great actor. Whatever film he's in, he somehow manages to completely transform himself and become that character. He has such an amazing filmography that shows his broad range and style of acting, and I personally believe that good acting is making a character believable. But what makes Ryan Gosling stand out as an actor? To get a better understanding of Gosling as an actor, I watched his films outside of his most notable roles and narrowed it down to some of the films that I want to talk about in this video, where I think his acting was the strongest and where he completely disappears in these characters. The films that I'm going to be discussing in this video are Half Nelson, Lars and the Real Girl, and Drive. Again, I believe that what makes a good actor is making a character believable. I need to somehow relate to these characters in some way. Not saying I have to feel sorry for them, especially if they're written as a bad person, but I have to be completely immersed in a film to the point where these characters are no longer characters, they are real people. There are very few actors and actresses who manage to pull off disappearing completely into their roles. Think of Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada, Anthony Hopkins in The Silence of the Lamb, Julie Andrews as the Queen in both The Princess Diaries and Shrek 2. Gosling has this effect that whatever role he signs up to, he transforms himself completely. Most of these roles have one thing in common: they are not talkative. There's a technique on how Gosling goes about his characters. He almost plays every role quite realistically because his characters internalize emotion the same way we do. He is also very subtle with his movements, the way he embodies a character as if he's lived their lives. But a lot of his acting comes from his eyes and how he manages to express himself. Take a look at these three shots in these films. Each one is different, yet it says so much about the character. In all three films, his eyes tells us, the audience, more than his actions. In fact, it lets us inside his head and we can assume what each character is thinking about in the moment. In Half Nelson, where he plays a middle school teacher with a drug addiction problem, one of his students finds him in the bathroom stalls smoking. Caught in the act, everything we need to know about what this character is feeling right now is displayed on his face, his body language, but most importantly, his eyes. There is fear there is guilt, because as a teacher who you're supposed to set a good example for the children, this is a big mess up. It shatters the illusion that a teacher has a dark side and a problem. In Lars and the Real Girl, Gosling plays a young delusional man who is very socially awkward. In this scene, Lars is sat at the doctor's office, awaiting results of his fiancée. The doctor tries to engage in small talk, trying to make Lars feel more comfortable. However, you can see the awkwardness and you can really feel it from his character. In Drive, where he plays a stuntman/getaway driver, the opening scene introduces us to who his character is. It says a lot without giving away too much information. He is quiet, observant, and good at his job without showing off. I feel like the majority of the people have only seen him in mainstream films like Crazy Stupid Love, The Notebook, La La Land, Blade Runner 2049, etc. And what all those films have in common is that they are either rom-coms or blockbuster films, films that are most likely to bring in an audience. But films like Half Nelson, Lars and the Real Girl, Drive, and even The Nice Guys are the ones that he completely shines in his performance. Gosling has done so much more outside of the rom-com genre. He is known for gravitating towards the indie genre, doing a role that's different from his last, from starting off as a neo-Nazi preacher in Believer to playing Ken in Barbie. That's quite a jump, and I feel like nobody can really do that except for Gosling.
Did you play with Ken? Exactly.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please give it a like, share, and even maybe subscribe if you want to subscribe. It's up to you. Let me know if you're going to watch any of these films of Gosling's. I truly think if you were going to start off with a film, I would suggest starting off with Half Nelson and then kind of go around with Lars and the Real Girl, then maybe give, The Nice Guys a try. I really do like a lot of his films, and I do think he is a really talented actor, and I wish I got to see him more. I cannot wait for Barbie. I just know I'm going to be the most obnoxious, annoying person when that film drops. I am. And you know what? I'm not even going to say that I am sorry, because I'm not.